our trust started to become stronger with each other, and we were able to share a lot of deep things.
Yeah.
And as we started having these conversations, we're like, wow, we should have recorded that,
Yeah. Great
right? Like,
nuggets. Welcome to the Artistry Life podcast. I'm your host, Ray, and with me I have life coach and my co-host, Marking. What's going on, man?
how are you doing, Ray? It's been a
Good, good.
long
I
time.
get had to be more detailed, man, on that.
Yeah,
It's been a while since we've been on, so
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, well, that being said, I'd like to welcome everybody back. I know we've in our last episode we talked about some things for people to pay attention to that we were going to roll out, and we kind of had our own evolution. I'll just say that our own evolution, and it caused us to push our date back on a release. But we're excited to be back and excited to share what's in the
what's
horizon
going
for
on?
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. So let's get to it.
Okay.
We're coming up with a new Artistry and Life podcast series called Fuck Therapy, Just Talk.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Therapy.
that kind of evolved from our many Monday morning meetings with our team,
Hmm.
our podcast team. And it's we would just air out our stuff, right?
Right.
Go ahead and tell us about the weather report.
Right. So what we would do, we would have our Monday morning meetings. We'd meet every week, and before we would start our meetings, we would do what is called a weather report check-in. And basically, it's an opportunity for us to let the other team members know what's been going on with them, what's been happening with them either that day or the week, and to be able to just have a container to share and talk about those things. And how we say weather report, so we would describe it as, you know, this week I had a few obstacles that I had to overcome and deal with. It was a little bit heavy, so my weather report is that it's sunny, but there's some thick clouds in the
Yeah.
horizon, but they're passing. So that would be an example of what the weather report would be, and then that evolved into really being able to share on a deeper level some of the things that were coming up for us as throughout the week, or you just even with the team, and because we set that tone of that it was a safe space to share these things, our trust started to become stronger with each other, and we were able to share a lot of deep things.
Yeah.
And as we started having these conversations, we're like, wow, we should have recorded that,
Yeah. Great
right? Like,
nuggets.
oh,
Great nuggets from our life
there's
coach,
some
Marking.
great nuggets. Well, from everybody,
Yeah.
quite honestly, because there's some perspectives in there that, you know, there have been countless times where I'm sitting in listening to the conversations like, oh yeah, I haven't looked at it that way before.
Yeah.
That's useful. That's helpful. So um I think it's great. I think we've all grown from it, and saw the value in having those meetings, and decided we actually should record these and see if this can be valuable. And I think what we've recorded so far, I do feel like there are some great nuggets in there, bro.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I mean,
And
our audience is they're going to be the flies on the wall listening to
yeah,
a lot of our stuff that's going on, right? And
exactly.
just to let the people know, we're not saying fuck therapy. We're saying just talk.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're not saying that therapy is bad. We're in fact, e- everybody gets to have that kind of support if that's what they need.
Yeah.
What we're also encouraging as well is just being able to have a conversation, create a space, a safe space where you're able to talk with your peers or your coworkers, and let people know like what's going on, and use that information to inform how you are able to engage in conversation.
Yeah, I just to give you guys an example. I mean, I remember
Mhm.
doing this when we first called it game night with some family members.
Mm,
And that game night became like a therapy session where we would just air out all the crap about our
right.
significant others and things like that and what's going on. And it happens now. It happens at lunch with your coworkers. If you're still
Mm,
if you're still in the office, you get your lunch and you know I bet you some coworkers are calling it their lunch therapy.
Right.
And it's just with your coworkers. There's
Hmm.
no professional therapist there,
Right.
but you guys are able to air out your stuff because it is a safe space
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's what we're doing. I'm
Hmm.
excited about it.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of these on recording already.
Mhm.
And we're gonna
Well, don't mean to cut you off, but what I'll like piggyback on what you're saying is that it is a space, but it's a container that has parameters on how we engage with each other, right?
yeah.
We're using
Yeah.
the foundation of the framework and the tools and the concepts of artistry and life, and using that as a foundation in our communication with each other. And that's really what makes it more effective, because there is those rules of engagement. We're not trying to be assholes to each other. We are trying to share our experience and our feelings and our and uh, how that may affect the dynamics, not just in our own communication, but our in communication outside of that container.
Yeah.
Right? It gives us an
Definitely.
opportunity to practice those things. And not saying that everybody when they create that container and then create these rules of engagement, that just as long as you have a parameters to have that engagement.
Yeah, we
Not
don't
saying that
want
it's
a bunch of fights going on
yeah, exactly,
in the
exactly.
lunchroom.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really is just to air out the stuff and talk about it and maybe find some advice and some different opinions. And
Mhm.
in order to have the self dialogue that goes on in your head when you go home,
Exactly.
that kind of thing. So,
Yeah. So it,
um,
it acts as a pressure valve release as well.
definitely.
Yeah.
So I hear we got the website going on. You've been working on the website?
Finally, I had a soft launch on the website a few months ago. I didn't really publicize it because I wasn't too happy with what I was seeing. So uh, as everything else in this practice, it evolved, and it's gotten to a place where I'm happy about it, at least for now. I know it's going to change in the
Yeah.
future, but it's out, and
Yeah.
people can check it out, artistryandlife.com. You can find out more about me and my practice, and some of the coaching packages. Uh, I really try to share a little bit more of my philosophy in my coaching practice. So
Yeah.
people can go there to find out more about that.
You
As
definitely got your
well,
framework up there
my
for life
framework is,
coaching.
yeah,
Yeah.
I talk about the framework and why it's important, and really also letting people know that I am focusing my efforts as a coach for artists, creatives, and activists. I believe that artists and creatives are and activists are the expressions of humanity. They have the pulse of humanity. They give us perspectives on what we experience in the world and how that can be changed, or how can we can influence change. What the activist ends up doing is that they act on those perspectives, and they help to create policy or change in communities. And I really feel like, as in my life as an artist, creative, and an activist, so many times where I've seen great ideas or great productions or talented people, they fall flat on their face or
Yeah.
don't realize their full potential. And one of the reasons why that happens is because what I've noticed is their internal dialogue, their self-esteem is all of a low vibration. And it's sad, because some of these things that they're trying to do, whether it's a project or a talent, that they don't realize that full potential
Yeah. Yeah.
that really could impact the world. And even just with current people in today's celebrities, how many times have we seen where they're just gone too soon? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, to me, in my observation of that, is because of their internal dialogue. Their inner dialogue was not at its highest potential.
Or
They
even with
didn't.
addiction. A lot of celebrities have these addictions that are happening, and
Mhm.
it's like, getting over that. Not that
Yeah,
we're like professional therapists to help you with that, but if you need help, go get help professionally.
but yes, and there's tools and uh, there's tools out there for people to be able to manage that type of communication with
Yeah.
self, to help really encourage and nurture with love and compassion how powerful we are as individuals, and we lose sight of that. And that's really, yeah, at the end of the day, that's really what informs my practice. Like really focusing on artists and creatives, and because those are the ones that I feel, artists, creatives, and activists are the ones that really have an opportunity, uh, and have had the opportunity to really create change, right?
Awesome. Yeah, definitely. So let's talk about what we're going to be doing. So
Mm-hmm.
on this new podcast series, more than likely we're going to have our team come on,
Mm-hmm.
Riza and Claire, and we may not be on the podcast all at once, but we'll have one another on here for
Right.
sure. We're probably going to have guests come on. Not
Mm-hmm.
probably, we will have guests come on, creative artists, creatives, and activists come on,
Mm-hmm.
and we could hopefully discuss, things that they've had issues with and obstacles that they've overcome, things like that.
Yeah. And talk about how personal development for them has been advantageous to their career, or their, art, or their projects, or whatever the case may be.
Let's wrap it up, Marking.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up.
Okay, let's let people know we got the website
Yes.
live.
Mm-hmm.
So you go onto artistryandlife.com
Mm-hmm.
to check out Marking's life coaching business.
Mm-hmm.
You could listen to us on YouTube, Artistry and Life, our
Mm-hmm.
podcast here, on Spotify and Apple.
Mm-hmm.
So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, all those great things. And in the future, we will be on YouTube Shorts because we will be deleting the TikTok.
Yeah, we're going to delete the TikTok account. We'll still be on Instagram and Facebook. Um, and you can find us on all those different platforms that Ray just mentioned. So we're really looking forward to this next chapter of Artistry in Life and Artistry in Life production podcast company. Yeah, stay tuned, folks. Thanks for being here. What else is there to say? Who dang? There we
That's
go.
it,
Love
man.
y'all.
You know what? Artistry and Life podcast, fuck therapy, just talk.